Hey, good morning. Right here in Walla Walla. It's been very early, getting set up to do some tool and cutter grinding, and I got some vitrified wheels on here. I had diamond wheels on here for grinding carbide, and now I got regular vitrified aluminum oxide grinding wheels. Excuse me, I'm making a little hoarse. I've been quite hoarse for quite some time. I guess I'm losing my voice. I'll have better microphone set up pretty soon. I'm getting an interface for this camera and maybe a different camera too. We'll see how that goes. Well, I got these vitrified wheels on this machine and I've just let it run for a while. I put them on there. I ring tested them, and you know how to ring test the wheel, don't you? We'll do that real quick because it's important. So you take just any wheel, hear that little ring? Now, if the wheel was cracked, it would be a dull thud, and if you put the wheel on, it would likely explode. So that is very critical. So I did that to both those wheels, and they rang. And but still, you know, I got them on there and not too tight. Either you don't need to over tighten stuff. And you want to make sure, well, this wheel here has it. The blotters. It's just paper. I think they called it blotters because that's about the right thickness of paper. Blotting paper was used in old writing with those old fountain pens. Okay, that goes way, way back. So you want to make sure the blotters are on the wheels. The diamond wheels don't have blotters, and they're not likely to crack and explode. So I got these on there and I just let the machine run for a while and warm up, and just to make sure that nothing was bad and the wheels were stabbed. So I'll shut this off real quick here and we'll start setting it up. So first thing I'm going to do, I'll just go ahead and take the diamond dresser and just run across the wheel. So I'll set this at 0 at this point, which is 90 on the scale. You can see that's pretty good. Just kind of bop on it. There we go. Lock it down. Got that on center. Okay, fire it up again. Just a second, I'm going to get this vacuum set up a little bit and I'll be right back and we'll do that. Okay, I got the vacuum set up a little bit. It's best to try to catch as much of the dust as possible, so that's why I did that. So I got the diamond dresser here and I'm going to turn the vacuum on. I should be able to go that direction just fine. Okay. Try to catch some of that dust anyway, huh? I'm going to go straight across this wheel. Make sure this is snug. There we go. Getting some of that dust. This is why I wipe the machines down before I move anything on these other machines. That is, I believe, good enough. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt this. I'm going to work from this side. So I'm going to rotate the wheel over this way. And about 2 degrees. 1.5 degrees is fine. Okay, now at this point, I'm going to pull this thing away somewhat. I'm going to kind of use it as a rest. And I'm going to start it up, and I'm going to shape that outside of that wheel a little bit with a dressing stick. Okay, let's see. Watch me do that. It's going to kind of true the wheel up, and I got to lock it. Keep me from pushing that diamond all the way down. Let's see, maybe you can see like that. Okay, I'm going to fire it up. That's the right direction. And I'm going to true this wheel up here. Oh, there's just my vacuum on. Right over the edge a little bit there. I don't want to roll it over. Okay. That'll be good. Okay. It doesn't have to be, excuse me, perfectly cleaned up. Yeah, that'll go a long ways to make a nice clean grind on the end of an end mill. Okay, so I think we're set up here. And I'll get the air spindle ready to go. It's still a little too early to start the compressor, but I'll figure out what to do from here, or give a little time. I'll be back. Okay, now I got that wheel set up, and I dressed it across, and then I tilted it 1 degree, or rotated it 1.5 degrees over this way. So if you're grinding across the flute here or something, it won't hit on this side. If you go past here, it won't grind on this side. It could be the other way. See, you know, if it was just a little bit off, if you had it on 0, and you go across here, and then it hits again here and kind of screws you up. So it's kind of standard practice to do this, I believe, anyway. So I went across it, faced or addressed it, and then rotated it over 1.5 degrees. Okay, then I took a dressing stick and I trued up the outside a little bit to that edge. Okay, because we're going to grind across this end mill to that center. Now this part here is just something that I do with tools that I have that I found easy for me to do, and that is to get the edge lined up to be ground. I like to use this height gauge. It's got a square end here, and these old things were made accurately, and it's accurate. So I can bring that right up on that edge and line it up on the downside here, okay? And it's got a slip collar here for fine adjustment. I want to make sure I'm using the indexer that this thing has. And just a little bit of a slip there. Let me pull this up. Hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm just trying to make things easy for myself too, you know. Let's see if I did that right. You know, that looks good right there. So I'm going to lock this ring. I got to make sure it's in all the way and up against the little finger. Okay. So when I grind it, I just got to turn it like that, and I'll grind it here and swing it over, and then I got to tilt it up 15 degrees. I'm going to grind that first primary angle, so I'm going to set that at 15. Whoa. Hey. Now that's not good. Uh-oh. Ah, I knocked this thing clear on the floor and it did a face plant. That's why this GoPro is the camera to use for me. It takes carbide dust too. I think I'll leave that unedited because that's part of the tough life. So I'm setting the angle here to 15, and this is where I got dropped the last time. Set that right at 15. Okay, I'm gonna have to, and I'll set this at 0, the base here, but I think I'll move this thing, scoot it on over. So I'll get that set up. And I still got a little time before, it's only 5:15 here, so I gotta wait at least until 6 or 6:30 to turn on that air compressor. It's loud out there. So we'll try to be good neighbors here for a couple more hours anyway. Okay, I'll probably click the camera back on soon. I almost thought I killed the GoPro, but it just had to reboot. It took that hard of a hit. This thing tumbled down a mountain once. It's really something. Yeah, they're pretty tough. It's looking a little worse for wear and tear, but it's still holding up good under power. Warren Jones batteries are going strong. Well, anyway, I got this back to technology. I better understand this cutter grinder, and I've got it set up here. I'm just waiting for everybody around here to wake up and go to work before I kick on the air compressor. It's right outside. It's real loud. You know, cheap air compressors are, or just about any air compressor except a screw type. Some of them are pretty quiet. But I got this cutter grinder set up, and everything clears. This thing just clears my travel dial there. That's pretty cool. So what I'm going to do, now a lot of cutters around here, and these small ones especially, I consider this a very small cutter. I'll show you a big cutter. Well, that's a pretty good sized cutter there. Now this one I really think I'm going to have to grind in the regular workhead for the machine, because it's really extended out, and this is kind of a light fixture, and I think this might be a little light for serious grinding on that, because it's an 1.25" shank, and it's got to have this extender that's 5C, so it really projects it out. So I think the heavy regular workhead's the way to go with 2-inch end mills. But yeah, 2-inch end mills. Here's a 2-inch ball mill. That's pretty amazing. Now, speaking of that, there's there's like a well, it's an import copy of the Cincinnati moto set. It's called a Denver. And this one, the last I looked, there's one of those just drastically cheap on HGR. But of course, you'd have to tool it up, just look like the raw machine. And there's the problem, is these attachments are kind of hard to find. Well, I don't know. But the attachments are basically getting less expensive as far as I can tell. And I keep doing this because it's sort of like the base of the machine shop, is to be able to have sharp tools. I think that's pretty important. Okay, I'll be back in a bit here. Okay, now I am set up and ready to go. And I wanted to point out that I normally work without wheel guards on a tool and cutter grinder, and many people do, and or did, and that's one of the reasons that they're kind of well, not real popular in industry right now. And I mentioned that monoset type grinder cheap on HGR. They had another grinder there, and it's the way it is. And it looked like a small grinder and a ground carbide, and it was completely enclosed in plexiglass with like holes to stick your hands in there, and it had a huge vacuum attachment at the top. And if you have a business and stuff, you can't expose your employees to carbide dust or exploding vitrified wheels. But I'm used to working without guards, and I just have to continue to do that. Now, keep in mind, I'm the only person in here, you know, and if there's another person around, that would be a significant hazard. I stay out of the burst zone, and that would be this zone here. You know, this thing goes, it's going to go that direction. Same with that one there. These are pretty robust wheels. And you just got to be careful not to crash a heavy fixture into a wheel. And especially cup wheels are especially susceptible to bursting. So you will see me grind without guards. Okay. I hope your morning's going good, and as soon as everybody gets up and drives to work, I will start grinding.